Hey everyone, Jan here, codingwithjan.com. So, today we're talking to a successful app founder. He's quite well known in the space and also a recurring guest on this channel. So, I'm excited to discover what's new in 2025 and let's dive right in. All right, Matt, this is our third interview in 3 years. And yeah, back in 2023, your app was making, I think, 30,000 a month. Then
Yes.
2024, it was roughly 60. And I'm super curious what you're up to in 2025 and yeah, the new trends you observe in the space. But before we get started, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for inviting me here. Um, yeah, everything is fine. And where we are now, we are pretty much the same team, pretty much the same app. I mean, it's better today.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it later, but we don't share the numbers anymore. And I think we'll talk about it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that was actually one of my questions for later. But yeah, we have a couple topics for today. So what I wrote down are the wide event that you're now hosting,
Mhm.
then your own business, where that is going, and trends and beginner tips for starting an app business in 2025. But yeah, maybe first topic first, wide event. So you, maybe for everyone who doesn't know, you have started in-person events, I think also 2, 3 years ago. What made you start events in the beginning or to begin with?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't 3 years ago, but it was way before. My
Oh,
first event, I think it was in 2018. But at that time, it wasn't English. It was a French event and it was just for merchants. So we didn't have the whole ecosystem as we have today. And the goal was just to bring the Shopify community together
hmm.
and attract customers. So obviously, most of the people coming were already either white bundle users or they knew about white bundle, but it was just a way, to bring people. So it was in Paris. It was probably one every year. And we stopped for COVID. And then we didn't do another one. And that's when, in 3 years ago, I decided to create again these events. But since I was creating content, not just for Shopify merchants, but for the whole ecosystem, whether you're an agency, whether you're a developer, or what else, I decided to change the event and the way it was. And so instead of having a French event, I wanted to have an English one because I can have more people.
Yes.
And I don't want it to be just an e-commerce event, but like more about a partner event. So we do have merchants, but we also have agencies, we have developers, and we have many different people like that. Because I wanted to have the whole ecosystem and use all the network that I had. And so I think it's a pretty good thing because we don't really have events in the world that bring everyone together. It's
Yeah.
always either partner focused or merchants focused. And I wanted to have everyone
Okay,
just
I
because
see.
I could do it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't even know about the merchant events. So these were basically like e-commerce Shopify events back then, I have to imagine.
Yes.
And yeah, this would have actually been my second question because I feel now with your audience and everything, it's even more like developer focused, partner focused than merchant focused. If we're talking about the wide event, at least that was my perception last year
Mhm.
when because I joined the event, I talked to like so many developers, etc.
Yes.
And I was wondering, yeah, what kind of benefits do you see from hosting these events? Is it more like partnerships with, let's say, agencies or such, or is it the reputation in the space? Like, what is the main benefit that you get from these events now?
Yes, of course. So my goal has always be to have all the ecosystem, but like the same amount of people from each part. So I want to have as many immersions as we have developer. Of course, it's not possible today in a way that I have way more followers in the app developing, space than I have in the merchant ecosystem, even if I do have some. This year, for example, we have more merchants than we had last year or even the previous one.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to have maybe not 50-50, but I want, to have enough of the every part of the ecosystem so that it can be actually, an event, not just for developers, as you've said, but for the whole ecosystem. So
Okay. Yes.
we do have merchants. These merchants sometimes don't know about white bundle. They don't choose white bundle. So that's the first thing. They will see my events. They will see everything I'm building. So it kind of create the authority, on in the ecosystem. So perhaps they will just be in like, all right, he created all that. He's creating good stuff. Maybe I will try his app. That's the first point. And as
Okay.
we get more merchants, obviously we can get more users. But that's not directly, the main thing. I guess that the main thing is that I love doing it. It's I think if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it even if it was bringing a lot of customers and a lot of partners. So I just love having events. I used to attend many different events, whether it was French events, English events, and so I thought it was logical for me, since I
Okay.
have now these followers, to create an event as well. So that's the second point. The third one, as you've said, is that we have many partners. Partners are also an ecosystem because they will help you grow and you will help them grow. And so I think it's a good way of meeting people in real life because it's easier to create partnerships when you see the person in life.
Yeah.
And so what I do usually is that by creating these events and I bringing speakers, I attract partners from the ecosystem that are not our partners yet. And so that's the same thing. They will see everything we're creating. They will see me in real life. They will come and we can start talking about partnerships, see what we can do together. And sometimes there are people that we can't get without these events because probably they are bigger than us or whatever. But these events, since they see us real life, they see everything we're creating, they will be more likely to make a partnership with us. And the second point, which is for partners, I mean app founders and stuff like that. But the other part, which is the fourth one, is partnerships with agencies
Hmm.
because it's a different kind of business. They work usually with fewer merchants, but maybe like better quality. And if they want to install an app on all the stores that they have that they are managing at the moment, then it's easier to do it. Let's say you have one agency and they're working with 20 Shopify store, big stores,
Yeah.
and you create a partnership with these agencies. It's easier, and you can get like 20 stores
Sure. Yeah.
that are big and stuff, and it's easier. And so what I do is that we do work with some agencies, but not enough. And just in France, for example, there are many, many different agencies,
Yeah.
Shopify agencies, just in Paris. And so what I do usually is that I create these events. I know that we'll have a lot of people, and I will send an email to all these agencies, even if they don't know me, and we'll just tell them, all right, I'm in Paris. I'm creating this event in the Shopify ecosystem. You should come, and I want to invite you, so you don't pay anything. And many will say, all right, let's do it. They will
Nice.
come. I will have a chat with them. We'll get to know each other. And so later we can have something where we discuss the partnerships. And it's not the first time we're doing it, and it works, because again, they see everything we're creating, real life. It's easier to make the partnership.
Yes.
And so that's what we do. And we already did partnerships with people that we've met that way, whether it's our events or some other events. And so also for the people coming, since we have agencies, we have developers, we have app founders, a few merchants, I think that everyone can see and get value from it. And what I try is to have a lot of speakers and different speakers. So that's why every year I try to have a big merchant coming and explaining how he created the business so that merchants also get value. And so that's what I do. And the last thing is obviously authority, even if it's not users. It's like, people come again, they see the event, they see what I'm building, and they're like, that's amazing, that's cool what he's creating. I will follow him, or they will trust me even more for whatever product I want to build in the future. And they have pictures, videos that I can reuse. Um, it's like social proof as well.
100%. Yeah, man, that's amazing. Yeah, so I love the partnership approach. And I was gonna say, I think even if you have like these small video clips of you on stage, then there's like a big room full of people, everyone comes to your event. That's like super, like as legit as it gets, pretty much. And I would even go as far as say you're almost hosting like a small Shopify Unite, which we don't have in Europe anymore. But I mean, you're bringing together 200 people now, or how many will join this year?
Yeah, 200 people. And that's basically what I want to create. It means that when it was a French event, the maximum people we had was 180.
Still
That
a lot.
was, I don't know, yeah, that's a lot, but it's easier because, like, you already have all these users on White Bundle, you have all the French people that it's in Paris. So it's in French, so it's easier for everyone to come.
Yeah,
And if
I
it
see.
was a French event today, I could have the same thing. It's just that I talk to many people and they're like, I'm not, fluent in English. As we know, French people, they're not really fluent in English. And so I could have way more. But this
True.
is
Yeah.
what we had. It was easier. We're in Paris, French events, everyone comes and that's fine.
Yeah, I
And
see.
um, and so today we expect 200 people. It's not we expect. We do have 200 people because we
Sold
already
out.
sold that.
Yes.
Yeah, we already sold that.
Yep.
And so 2 years ago we had 100 people. Last year we had 150, and today we will have like 200 in a month. And so
Okay,
I
awesome.
want to start growing like that because I want it to be a big, Shopify events. I want something big. We even discussed because I am working with a friend. We used to be in the same engineering school, and I'm not an engineer, and he's not an engineer as well. And he's working with a agency creating all these kind of events and stuff, and it's a pretty big one in Paris. So I'm working with him, which is awesome. We work together, and we not even engineer, and he helps me, sorry, create all these events, with the people thinking about what we can do so that I can come with ideas. And when we are in the event, I don't have to worry about anything, whether
Nice.
it's lights, organization, food, and everything. And I told him because, like, the first one was at Grand Rex in Paris.
Yeah.
So we had 100 people. And for those who don't know, we had like a small, not really small, but like we had a small part of the Grand Rex where you don't have many people. But at the top of the Grand Rex, there was like this big venue, this big space where you can have like 2,000 people. And the first time we had these English events, I told my friends, one day we will get this place. One day we'll get it and we will fill it. And he's like, you see the vision, and we're like, we
Yes.
will do it. We don't know when, but like even if it's 10 years, 10 years from now, Shopify will be there, we'll start growing. And I think we can go faster and faster. 200, maybe next year it will be 300, I don't know. And then we'll scale that way. And as we grow, as we have more people and people start talking about it, and as we improve the event as well, this year it will be amazing. This year we prepared stuff that will be bigger. And so
Oh, damn.
that's what
I'm
I'm
excited
trying
now.
to.
Yes. Good,
Yeah,
good,
that's
good that I already have my ticket. Yes.
yeah,
Nice.
that's what I'm trying to build.
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, this time you also sold out quite far in advance. I mean, it's end of March. The event is end of May, and it's already waitlist. So that's awesome. And one quick question, like how much does it cost you to facilitate an event with like 200 people, like roughly?
So this year we spent 24,000, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken. So I'm not speaking in dollars, but in euros. So it's probably 26,000, something like that.
Yeah, it's roughly the
Um,
same right now. Yeah, yeah, but yeah,
yeah,
26, let's say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much the same thing. And so, usually, obviously, as we have more people, it increases. And so this includes all the people working that night
Hmm.
because it's the whole evening. We have a lot of people. Um, we have,
Venue. Yeah.
again, lights, the people for the food and everything.
Yes.
We have the venue as well. We have all, I don't know, like material, food and everything that we're bringing and stuff. So it covers all of that. And then we had like people coming for videos, photo call, people like, taking pictures and stuff. So this is usually what we have. And this year, this is what we'll pay.
Okay, nice. So 24,000. And how much of that is covered through sponsors? Because I mean, last year you also had like big names like Pagefly, Crisp, and so forth.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so yeah.
So last year, I think we could have. more sponsors. So what I want basically is that for sponsors to have enough space and not many sponsors so that all the sponsors can get value from that.
Got it.
I've seen some events, for example, where there were only, I don't know, like 100 people and they had like 8 sponsors. It makes sense if you want to make money because like, it's easier to be like break even and make even more. But
Yep.
I feel like, sponsors will not talk to, as many, not merchants, but as many attendees as they would like. And so what I wanted was I want the sponsors to have a lot of conversations. And for that, we don't need a lot of sponsors. Like we
Got you. Yep.
can't. And so that's why last year we had 4 sponsors, and this year I decided to have 6. I mean, we are more people, and so the sponsors almost cover the expenses we have for the events. And then what I do is that I try to get everything we have to make the event even better
Yeah.
because I don't care about making money. Actually, the previous event we made something like 500, and the previous one we lost money. I think it was 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm thinking long term. I'm like, it's fine for that event. The goal is not to make money. The goal is to have fun and to create something for the future. And so I'm trying to do the same. And so what I do is if we have money, and we do have money, thanks to the tickets, thanks to the sponsors, we do have money today. And so I was like talking to this friend who's helping me with the event and organizing everything. And I was like, okay, we have this extra money. What can we do with that? And he's like, I think we can have this, and we can have I don't know, like, you will see during the event, but
Yeah.
we're like, okay, we can have all this amazing stuff. And so I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. I want people, to leave the event and be like, this was amazing, you know. And I want them even 2 years, 3 years after to tell me like, hey, this event was incredible. Like, that was awesome. This is what I wanted. It's not like just one other event where it's like, oh, that's nice. I can chat with the people. No, I want them to remember that night.
Yes.
That's what I
Awesome.
want. And so
Okay.
that's what I'm
Cool.
trying to do.
Okay, got it. So you don't even care about breaking even at this event, or would be ideal, but not making money. You just want the partnerships, the
Yes.
reputation, everything we talked about previously.
Yes. If I can be break even, it's perfect because it means that I used all the money I could to make the event better. And I'm not less so that, I still don't lose money. So everything is,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, man, amazing. Already looking forward to spending some time in Paris then. I mean, you're also bringing people together from all over the world. Last time, one guy I talked to actually came from Japan to visit you. So
yes.
that's a big statement, I think. But yeah, okay, enough of the events. That's going to be awesome. And the next topic I had in mind was your own business. So is white bundles still your main focus at this point?
Can't say it's the main focus. I mean, I've got bigger ideas, so I'm working on many different things.
Yes.
So yeah, last year I would say it was the main focus. Today, I don't think it's the case. I won't say that it's on the side, but I have some big projects that take time, and so obviously I can't spend all my time working on White Bundle when I have all these bigger projects.
Yep. Okay, we will get to these in a couple of
Yes.
minutes. Then one of my questions were, I mean, in recent years, you have been like super transparent, posting about revenue numbers, etc., and I haven't seen that as much anymore. Is there like a specific reason for that? Is that something you want to talk on or share?
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, it's linked to the different ideas and projects that I have. But I noticed that as I grew on X Twitter,
Hmm.
the problem was that when I was sharing numbers, I think it was inspiring people. Obviously, it is because I wasn't just talking about money, but I was also explaining what I did since 2017 and doing everything. So it was just not about giving numbers. The problem is that it attracted a lot of people that were interested only in the money and they didn't really care about the Shopify ecosystem. They didn't really care about the value I was giving. And so there are things about it. The first one is that numbers, will get hundreds of likes, a big reach. But is that actually what I want? In the beginning, perhaps it was good because you can start to have a voice and people in the Shopify ecosystem will see me because I make, noise and stuff. But as you get different projects, which we'll talk right after, the problem is that when I was talking about Shopify stuff related, not numbers, but just giving value, but value in a way that anyone could just take that post, follow it, and make money with the Shopify app. These posts didn't work that well. And it's even worse than that, is that I've seen Shopify, accounts talking about the same thing, but they have fewer followers and even like not many followers getting more engagement than I had.
I
And
see.
I think that the reason is simple. It's like you have this rich X will show your post to many different people.
Yeah.
Since you have a lot of followers who followed you based on the numbers, they don't care about what you're sharing, so they don't engage with your post. And so Twitter sees it as it's a bad post. And so they
Yeah.
won't show it to more people. And so based on that, at the end of 2023, when I was starting to think about 2024, I decided that I would stop sharing numbers. I mean, not big numbers, but I still share about, some small stuff like how they can make 3,000 per year and stuff like that. And what I did was simply focus on how can I help Shopify merchants, not Shopify merchants, but how can I help Shopify app founders grow their business without sharing numbers as I did in the previous years. And so I start to see like more and more like engagement with that because it starts, to attract more
Nice.
people related to the Shopify ecosystem. And so slowly I see that it's starting to grow again.
Okay, nice. So it's more a thing of attracting the right audience for the right reasons,
Yes,
and you don't want to be the guy just known for making X amount per month or something
yes,
like that.
exactly.
Yes, totally makes sense. Yeah, that's awesome. And I also feel, I mean, before you told me this, it makes total sense. I was thinking, okay, maybe this has to do with Matt wants to like sell his business at one point, and maybe he's like, this is maybe better for like valuations and when talking to investors. Is that something you would ever consider, like selling one of your apps, or not at this point?
Yeah, definitely. I thought about it just because, again, I have some bigger projects, and I think that for these projects, I would need to sell my apps at some point. Because I don't know, like I feel like, it was the first step of my journey, and maybe I have to go to the next one. And if I want to be completely on that, I have to stop doing what I'm doing today. That
Yeah.
takes my time and go, to the next stage, do something bigger. Doesn't mean that I won't have Shopify apps, but it just means that for that one, for what I'm building and I've been building since 2020, I think it should come to an end so that I can grow and go to something else.
Okay, got it. Just a focus question, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, nice. Okay, awesome. And yeah, in the intro, you already said, okay, the team is roughly the same around your apps
Yes.
than it used to be. How about AI? I mean, this is like a super trending topic all over the place. Every app like tries to integrate AI. Everyone wants to like go with the trends, etc. Is that also something you have considered? Like, how can you build AI into white bundles or like some new ideas with AI? Or how do you stand for,
So
yeah, what's your perspective on the topic?
I'm not into adding AI to an app that doesn't need it, just to have like the AI name.
Yes, great.
The goal is to bring value to the users and not to just show something to boost your ego.
Yep.
But we do use AI when working for White Bundle, whether
Yes.
it's for our developers, support team, and stuff like that.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I would say the same. Would you say AI lives up to the expectations or to the hype that it's getting? Are you as impressed as everyone else, or what's your opinion on AI in general?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, and it's getting better, and like every day you're like, this is amazing. Again, this week there is Sam, so the founder of, the CEO of OpenAI, that released this new image model
Yo.
that works on 4.0 for ChatGPT, and I tried it and it's amazing what you can create with the pictures. And I'm like amazed about it. And I know that at some point AI will be incredible and you won't even have anything to say about it. But today we're still seeing improvements, so I'm still amazed about it. There is a second thing that I'm using today is that I wanted to try ChatGPT Pro versions, and I was amazed again just
Yes.
by the coding. Because for coding I'm using Claude, which in my opinion was the best one. But I tried ChatGPT Pro version, and what it can create from scratch is amazing. Like Claude is better for debugging or like small piece of code. But when I'm trying to create something new, I will put everything into ChatGPT Pro, especially because you can now add a lot of text inside. So I can just, copy and paste all my codes and ask questions and do stuff, and it will create it. And it will, it will start thinking for 5 minutes. So you see for 5 minutes it's thinking and then it gives you the answer. And what is amazing is that I can copy paste it and it will work right away. I just did it yesterday for a new feature. And like maybe you have to tweak a lot of things, but compared to Claude, where you can't just give everything and you will have like the perfect
Yep.
answer. You have to do it by iteration. And ChatGPT didn't have to do it. So I'm always amazed with that.
Yes, okay. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I sometimes have mixed feelings with AI because, for one, I mean, it's super hyped up. But then if you try the things, then it's like 80% good, right? You can't use,
Yeah.
let's say, a fully generated video yet or images. But
Yes.
then there's also times when I'm super impressed because I also tested this new image model that you just mentioned. And it's crazy because you can just take a picture of like a random product and then say, hey, generate an image with a model holding this product or something like that. And it generates like super good images now. So I think that's especially interesting for e-commerce. But yeah, that was just a side tangent. Wanted to hear your thoughts on AI,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think it's interesting in general. Okay, then I also had one other topic. I mean, we heard kind of it's going well with your businesses. You're not sharing revenue numbers anymore. You're still running with it. You also have new ideas,
Yes.
and we will talk about these new ideas in a second. But I think this also comes handy with my next topic because I wanted to ask you about starting apps in 2025. Do you think it's still possible to start an app in 2025 as a new entrepreneur?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So the thing is, first, is we have to think about Shopify, Shopify itself. Shopify is built for merchants. It's doing everything to bring more merchants.
Yeah.
And it's happening. It means that every year we have way more merchants. And merchants has like the number of merchants is growing faster than the number of apps, even if we have more and more apps. It means that there is always new opportunities to grow an app. That's the first point. If
Mhm.
we didn't have more merchants, then yes, maybe at some point we will have too many apps. But when it's the contrary, and when you have more merchants growing, it means that there is space for new apps. But not just copycats and you do it and you pray that you will attract a few merchants. No, the thing is, Shopify is also improving, adding new features, adding new stuff that creates new, blue ocean, basically. It's like there is this new feature that you can use to do things that you couldn't do before.
Yeah.
And so when you create an app, a new app, and there is this new feature that has been released, usually big apps, they already have users, they already have their roadmap, they already have all these features. They can't just say, um, okay, today we are changing, let's put it on the side, let's build this new feature and work on it.
Yes.
Some apps can do it, but most of them can't because you have resources, you have your focus, and you do it that way. So new Shopify apps can just go and be like, okay, I will start a new app and I will start working on it. And so merchants will start looking for apps like that, and I will have the solution. And this is always what happened. You've seen it happen with I don't know when they release functions. When they release functions, there was
Yeah.
all these apps working with a specific way. There were, they had all these features, and switching to function or like starting to integrate function would
Yes.
mean like changing everything on the app, changing all these features and think about it differently. Because it's like you had to change the foundation of the business compared to new app that could just join and be like, all right, let's build something on top of that. So we have more opportunities that way. Um, Second point, third one is that Shopify is pushing new apps. It means that you can see it's common to see an app, a new one, getting a few reviews and going in the first page and starting to jump in the ranking, even if they don't have a lot of reviews. Just because Shopify values more the where your app is growing rather than how long you've been in the ecosystem and how long you've been in the game. And so based on that, I think that there are still room for new Shopify apps. Also, the needs evolve. It means that what people need today, even if we don't think about new features from Shopify, if you look at what people need today, it changes. There is AI, there is many things releasing, there is new competitors for them. And so they need new things. And so as they need to change something, obviously you need new features, you need new apps, you need new stuff. And so you can dig into this opportunity. I mean, we are humans. We always have problems. We're not satisfied with what we have. Otherwise, we would have only 10 apps in the Shopify App Store. And so, since you have all that, it makes sense to say that any ad can come today, build an app, build something, and make money with it. I'm not saying you will grow to 10 millions. Maybe some will. But I'm saying that you can make
Yes.
a lot of money at least.
Yes,
And I
that's
can
awesome.
prove
Yeah.
it. I have a
Mhm.
friend
Yeah.
who launched a Shopify app in 2024 and already sold his app for more than 1 million,
That's crazy.
like
Yeah.
seven figures. And it's like people, 2 years ago, people were asking the same question in 2023, same in 2022. It's like it's saturated. We can't build apps. And so they won't build one. And then there is this guy, 2024, who saw an opportunity, started to talk to merchants, saw something, built something, and not even 1 year later, sold the business for more than 1 million for seven figure.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a huge success story. I mean, I also like your approach, like there, because Shopify is becoming more complex. You have checkout extensions, POS extensions, like all this new stuff is going on. I think there's also a huge opportunity still in B2B. Then accessibility is becoming more important,
Yes.
or it's actually going to be mandatory for certain websites in the future. When it comes to growing an app from scratch, would you say
Mhm.
that the App Store is the most important part? Because you mentioned like the App Store rankings and you basically get a lot of search traffic through the App Store, right?
Yes.
Is that the number one growth driver, would you say?
I think first it depends on who you're targeting and what is your pricing. If you have a pricing which is 200 per month, then the Shopify App Store may not be the best solution because
Mhm.
you will have fewer users. It means fewer installs. It means fewer reviews. And so you won't be pushed in the Shopify App Store compared to an app that is free and is getting a lot of reviews.
Got it. Yeah.
So for this type of apps, I would suggest, creating content, blog, reaching out to people, jumping on calls, partnering with the agencies and stuff, but doing something outside the Shopify App Store.
Hmm.
Doesn't mean that you should forget about it, but it means it shouldn't be your main focus. Um, if you have a small app, when I say a small app, it's like pricing is small, you're targeting SMBs, then yes, the Shopify App Store is a good way to grow, especially for the reasons I said.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that it should be the first thing that you have to do. I've seen many people coming and be like, I built this Shopify app, I'm on the App Store, but I don't get any traffic or like one install per month. What should I do? And so the problem is that they expect to put their app and suddenly they get traffic. But that's not what happens, especially because when you launch, you're not on the first page, which is the main one. People don't know about your name, they don't trust you, there is nothing about it. So it's a good way to grow if you already have some, you know, um, a base or something, or at least a few early users that you can get differently.
Yeah.
I always say that the best way to start growing is to go after merchants one by one. Don't expect them to come, but try to go after events, for example, like the wide events. Start talking to agencies, start talking to merchants. Even if it's two merchants, people they want usually to have like 1,000 merchants coming to their app and start to install it. This is not how it works. There is like compounding effect. It means that you start getting one merchant at the white event, for example. And with that guy, you're like, okay, you have that problem. I think I can build this app. Then you talk to another merchant at the event, and it's like, all right, you have the same problem. Okay, not really the same, but you want it that way. Okay, let me talk back to the other guy. Oh, you also have that problem in that way. Okay, I think I can build something. Can we be on WhatsApp? All right, I start building. And then it's like, hey, do you know anyone in your network that may benefit from that? Oh, I do have this friend. Okay, let's bring him.
Okay.
And this is how we did it for White Bundle. And it was in 2020. And I had like 15, almost 15 people that I got one by one. And then what happens is there is the compounding effect. It means that as you get more people, you will get even more. And so you can go on the Shopify App Store, you get 10 people, for example, even five, you start to get five reviews. And that's when you start working. And like Shopify be like, okay, this is an app, it's working, it's getting reviews. You will start to grow. And if you have even a strategy where you have, for example, a free plan and you have a paying plan, then it means you will start getting installs that way. And it starts to grow. It's like, you can create a fire, but before that you need to to start manually something, and then you just have to put in woods, and that's fine. But in the beginning you have to do something to make it, to make the fire start, and that's exactly the same thing. And then yes, you can grow with the app store. There is this strategy that has been used for a long time, which is you start getting a few early users, your app is totally free, you get reviews, you start increasing and go to the first page, and then you introduce a paying plan. This is what many people do on the Shopify App Store. That's one of the strategies. So yes, with the App Store, you can still do great things.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I like your analogy of starting a fire. You start with like small sticks and stuff, and then you can add later bigger bricks later on. Okay, that's awesome. Um, I think you're pretty knowledgeable, or actually super knowledgeable in terms of app marketing because you've tried so many things over the years. And on
Yes.
LinkedIn, I recently also saw a post that you are about to create a new course for app development or
Yes.
basically growing apps. So if I understood it correctly, it's not really the technical side, it's more the marketing and growing side of things. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, then tell
Um,
us more. What is it about, or
yeah.
what's the idea? Yeah.
So, we work with partners, other app to create partnerships because, we send them users, they do the same,
Yeah.
basically. That's a good way to grow when you already have a user base. But I have a lot of problems with the way we're doing it, the person working on marketing with me as well. We saw a lot of problems, which is reaching out to Shopify apps, knowing which app is willing to have a partnership, getting the numbers, how many installs you have, knowing what they are willing to do, like whether it's an email, putting your app in the dashboard and stuff like that. And so I noticed all these problems when it comes to partnerships. We can't use basic solutions that exist for SaaS because Shopify is like a small market. So we have to think about something on how we can improve the process.
Hmm.
And so I was like, maybe we can have a platform where I can just find apps like that and I can make the contact easier and I can make the follow-up easier and I can, all that, handling all that. And so I was like, I have this problem. Same thing. I posted on Twitter,
Yeah.
posted on LinkedIn, posted everywhere and be like, hey, am I the only one with that problem? And everyone, including me apps, were like, no, I have the same. And I was like, all right, what do you think about I'm doing the exact same thing I told you about Shopify apps. And then for the people having the problem, I reached out and be like, hey, what is your problem exactly? Do you have this, this, this? And I'm like, oh, okay, I've got this problem as well. And then they will tell me something I didn't think about. And so I was like, okay, I will build a platform. I have the followers for that because platforms is complicated. You need a lot of people initially if you want the platform to start growing. Otherwise, if you have only two people inside, it doesn't make sense. And so I was like, I have the followers to do it. I have the knowledge. I have the markets. Let's do something. And so I started posting about it, and people were excited about it because everyone had this problem. So if I want to build this platform, I need resources. I need to work on it. So I started to work with a CTO. So we are working on it on this side. That's why, for example, I can't be completely focused on White Bundle as I'm working on it. And I think it has a huge potential in the Shopify ecosystem.
Hmm.
And there is this other question, which will come to what you said, which is, all right, if I want to grow this business, it means that I need to have apps that are working. The more apps that are working, technically, the more apps that I can have on the platform. And
Yeah.
so I was like, how can I make people more successful? and not just post on X. And so the
Dope.
logical answer was like, let's create a course. Why can't just tell people how they can grow their apps? And so I was like, okay, I'm not the best technical guy. I don't want to talk about technical parts because it would attract too many people creating apps on the technical side, and it wouldn't make sense because they won't grow it. It will just add apps that won't have any users on the App Store. This is not what we need. I didn't want to make a course for people that don't know the Shopify ecosystem
Yeah.
and they discover it and I talk about how this is a good opportunity to build in something. Instead, I wanted to focus on the people who know the ecosystem, already have an app, struggle to grow so that I help them grow. And then if they got value from my course and stuff, I can introduce my platform. And so I can get more people that way.
Nice.
So that's
Okay.
what I wanted to do. I can help
Okay.
people grow.
Yeah, dope.
The other part is that, I've been sharing content since December 2021. I could have built this course way before because I never asked money to my community. I never sold anything. When I released product, it was free products and stuff like that. Because it was just, I love sharing. I could build trust, but my goal is not to directly create a lot of competitors. Obviously, I was sharing content, so we did have competitors, but only for the people that are actually putting in the work, reading what I'm doing, and not like a course and just following it, and that's it.
Yes.
But with this platform, I was like, maybe it's time. I don't want to do it for free so that at least I can make money with it and it can be another source of income. And I was like, let's create a blueprint, marketing, everything I've known and learned since 2017, since I was building Shopify apps. Let's put it into a big, big, big document. I want it to be like a theory. It means that I won't be like recording myself and stuff. I want
Mhm.
it to be like a document where as soon as you have a problem, question about a topic, something, you can just refer to it and it will be like the size of a book. You know what I mean, like a big thing with
Yeah.
all the process theory and stuff. I will even ask people to create content inside, so like it's not just about me, but having something so beautiful
Yes.
that it becomes the document, the way to create an app. It's like you want to build one and grow one, you have to read that one. And
Yeah.
so that's what I'm doing. And same thing, I asked people if they were willing to use something like that, and they were happy about it. So I decided to create kind of a course, like more blueprint or something.
Yes, yeah, I like that idea. And like if you ask me, I think you should create some content in it, especially with yourself, because I mean, people already like you. I think you're good on camera. You have a Shopify neon sign, so you can put that in the video. Yes, no, I think you should definitely create some videos yourself as well. I mean, you can still have external experts, sure, but then also text-based content is awesome. So yeah, if you ever want someone to review the stuff or bounce some ideas, super happy to do that. I mean, I've
Yeah,
also been
definitely.
selling courses, I mean, the last 5, 6 years. So if that's
Definitely.
something you're interested in. But yeah, I think this is an awesome initiative. And yeah, so to wrap this up, the course is more like a funnel for the main product, which is going to be the marketplace or the platform for app partnerships. Did I understand that correct?
Yeah, and I think it's also like a new source of income, basically. But yeah, in the beginning it was like, okay, I'm building the platform. Let's think about the course. Let's bring people to the course and then introduce them to the platform so that I can grow the platform. And I think it totally makes sense. I'm basically following, I don't know if you know Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
He did pretty much the same thing. He has ClickFunnels and it creates course so that people can grow the business and he introduces the platform so that people can use it. He has like a small challenge for a month where people have to use this platform. And so I will basically do the same thing. And I think it makes sense and everyone's happy. Like you're growing your business, you use my business. I mean, I don't see why people wouldn't be happy with that.
Yes, I think that's a very sustainable strategy. I think a lot of content creators or a lot of people in the space have actually adopted this. I mean, you named Russell Brunson because like his model was okay, I have ClickFunnels, this huge software, and then he creates content about how to make money online with funnels, and then hey, here's ClickFunnels, right?
Yes.
And we see the same thing with, I mean, you probably also know Alex Hormozy, Sam Owens,
Yes,
and
exactly.
School, right? School is kind of the same. It's
Yeah.
this learning platform, and they teach you how to make money on School, and then there's the software. For you, it's going to be the same. Like many creators are following this path, and I think it's actually super good because you're promoting the business model, you're teaching people, and then you're also given the right tools to do that. So it's kind of like nurturing itself. Yes, amazing. Okay, and I think honestly, let me check. I think these were all the questions I had written down for today. We've also come a super long way already. We've been talking about your events, which is honestly amazing. I think there are very little people doing events. Like this is such an untapped potential, and you're fully using it. So mad respect for that. Then we've been talking about your own business, like how it's going, the direction, focus, new projects you've been starting, and whether it's still possible to grow an app business in 2025, as well as your recommendations. And yeah, super excited for the app course once it's live. You have an estimated date for that or not yet?
No, not yet, because again, it's not the main thing. So it's like, as I go, when I have time, when I'm thinking about something. But I do already have a lot of content about it. And it's
Yes.
bigger than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I can imagine stuff like that explodes all the time. But man, you've been advocating the MVP principle, so maybe you should
Yes.
yes take your
Yeah,
own
yeah,
efforts to
of
heart.
course. But it's like, because I thought about it, but I was like, I already have the contents. I know what everything wants already. So it's like my Twitter account was basically the MVP. My
Yes,
newsletter as
okay,
well,
okay,
which
okay,
is,
got it.
I'm sharing content, people need it, people ask questions, and I'm like, okay, I know exactly what you need. Let's build something for that now.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. Yes. No, take your time, do it as thoroughly as possible. And yeah, we're super excited to hear more about that once it's live. Also happy to promote that. And yeah, man, I don't have anything else to say except thanks so much for taking the time again. Is there anything else you would like to promote or any last thoughts?
Not really. Like, thank you for having me
Yes. Follow on
already.
Twitter, follow on LinkedIn. I mean, the event
Yes,
is sold out, waitlist. Is that
there is a
realistic?
wait list. There is a wait list. And
Yes.
sometimes people, they realize, during the last month that they can't attend. And so they're like, you know, asking for refunds. And so it creates a ticket that people can purchase. So you can be on the wait list and just wait for a ticket like that.
Okay, yes. Okay, yeah, I think these are good call to actions then, or try out the apps. I mean, you can find Matt online. It's not going to be difficult. I'll also put
Pretty
some
much
links in the
everywhere.
description. And yeah, thanks so much for spending the morning with me and excited to upload this one.
Thank you for having me.